Alex Chu, and welcome to another episode of Immortology.org. In this episode, I'm going to talk about resurrection. In Bible prophecies, they mention resurrection, and lots of people think that resurrection is rapture, meaning the knowing of Jesus Christ. When people finally saw Jesus coming, and then dead people would rise up from the dead and follow Jesus. And living people will also leave their body and follow Jesus. Basically, it means that everybody would just die and go to heaven or something. I really don't think so. I think people have to take the Bible literally. Okay, resurrection means the rise of the dead. All right, it basically means that dead people will come back to life. It doesn't mean the dead people will spiritually be resurrected and then just go to heaven with Jesus. I don't think that's what it means. But anyway, how can we bring the dead people back? I think, it's basically I think it's by cloning. You have to clone the person back. Okay. Let me show you. There are 4 kinds of cloning. The blastomer cloning and nuclear cloning are clonings which requires a cell injected into an egg, and then you put that egg into the cloning chamber, and then produces a baby, and then put it back into a mother's womb. But this is not the kind of cloning that we need. We basically need cellular cloning. Cellular cloning is like you take a piece of kidney cell and then you put it on the cloning pad, and it would clone the entire kidney out. That's exactly what kind of cloning we need to clone a new human being. Now, how do we clone the entire human being? I mean, a human being has eyes, nose, ears, lung, intestine, stomach, tissue, muscle. The heart muscle and the arm muscle is totally different. How do we clone all these parts out of nothing? Well, you ever thought of a chicken laid egg? It's very strange. The egg only has egg yolk and egg white. I mean, what if we synthesize this material, synthesize the egg yolk and egg white material, right? And then we built this giant cloning chamber, and then we dump the egg yolk and egg whites into this cloning chamber, and then we put a piece of human cell right inside, right in the middle of the egg yolk, and then we clone it. Somehow we clone it. Somehow the egg yolk and egg white will become the nutrients that could clone, that is enough to clone the entire human back. I mean, if chicken can come out of an egg, why cannot a human come out of a giant egg? Okay, even if we clone a human back, right? For example, let's say somebody's dead, and then we take a piece of his cell, and then we put it right inside this egg yolk, and then we clone this person back to life. The person would not be him because, he wouldn't have the past memories. We probably just clone a person back, but this clone would not be, it wouldn't be him. Okay, let's say David is dead, all right? And then we take a piece of David's cell, we put it inside the cloning chamber. We clone another David, but it's probably not the same person. It's probably, somebody we clone probably cannot even speak, cannot even write, don't have any memories. So what should we do? I think we have to somehow clone that person's memory back. So what we do is this. We have a cloning chamber, okay? And then at the bottom of the cloning chamber, we put David's dead corpus at the bottom of the cloning chamber. And then we shoot magnetic fields. We shoot magnetic flux through these 2 objects, okay? The magnetic flux will help us record will help us move the frequency of the dead corpus into the clone. We clone it as we shoot the magnetic flux through these two objects. So the dead clone, the clone will come, we will clone the clone will be so similar to the dead body, okay? Because the frequency is identical. Because when we clone the body, we also shoot magnetic flux through these two objects, okay? The clone and the dead body. We shoot magnetic flux. So that the frequency of the dead body will also be reproduced into this new clone. And this new clone will be so identical to the dead body that it retains the memory and everything. All the brain cells and everything is aligned, just like the dead body. Okay, it's like a tape recorder, you know. You like the song and then you just record it with a tape recorder, and basically the new tape that you recorded in the song will be so identical you can't tell the difference. We could also do this with the clone. We basically clone as we record the frequency from the dead body, so that the clone would be so identical to the dead body you cannot tell the difference. Even the memory exists. And guess what happens? When you clone the body that's 100% identical to the old body, the spirit in the spiritual world would actually be drawn into this new body. Okay? I believe that there's a spiritual world. When somebody dies, the spirit would leave the body and be stationed somewhere in the spiritual world before they get reincarnated. So if we resurrect this person, this new body, this new clone body would be so identical to the old body that we're going to draw the spirit back into this new body. And then when this clone wakes up, we ask him a question, we interrogate him, you know. What is your name? How did you die? And what did you see in the spiritual world and stuff like that? We ask them questions that only the dead person would know. Okay? And if the new clone would answer every one of these questions correctly, we know that it's a success. We have successfully cloned the dead person back. So I believe that this is the resurrection technology. I also believe in reincarnation. I believe that. So, you know, it's kind of interesting, you know. What if we resurrect a dead person, but that dead person's spirit has already reincarnated into another human being? So I guess, if resurrection really becomes successful, we really have to be very careful. We cannot clone a 3,000-year-old mummy, you know, because I believe, you know, by now the mummy has already reincarnated many, many times, you know, and it's probably a living human being living somewhere on Earth. I believe that to clone somebody back, the person must be dead within a few days. You know, that person must have died within a few days or within a month. And the likelihood of that person reincarnated into another person is very, very slim. So, you know, so we can basically just clone a new body and resurrect the person. If the person has died for many, many years, for example, if the person is already dead for like more than 10 years, then it might not be it might not be feasible to clone the person back, because that person, maybe the spirit of that person has already reincarnated. But, you know, we'll discuss that issue in the future if this technology becomes possible. Well, that's it for this episode. Thank you very much.